I'm Andy DeBillis with NETV in Brussels. With me is Sunil Dowarkasing, am I saying that correct?
Yeah, that's fine.
A member of the Parliament from Mauritius and of the Pan-African Parliament. Can you please explain the role that the Pan-African Parliament plays in the European elections and your own responsibilities here?
Well, first of all, let me just point out that the Pan-African Parliament and the European Parliament have a working arrangement. We are part of a joint ad hoc committee, and we share a lot of this common platform, especially in terms of the EU strategic plan that has been put forward after the Lisbon meeting. So in that sense, both the Parliament has started working together on a series of items. And when these elections came in, so we have been invited by our counterpart to come and observe the process here.
It's kind of a switch, Africans observing European elections for a change, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yes, obviously, and this is the first time that the Pan-African Parliament, which is quite accustomed of the fact of observing elections on the African continent, but this is the first time that we are observing an election outside the African continent.
What's your feeling about it? Is this a democracy in action for you, or is it something else?
I beg pardon?
About this process. What do you think about the way it's being conducted here?
Oh yeah, well, I can say that democracy is in a very advanced stage here in Europe.
You haven't found any irregularities in the voting process?
No, we haven't found any irregularities so far. We found certain system which, according to the norms that we conduct elections, we say hey, we were a bit, taken aback by certain norms, but the whole system is based on trust.
What concerned you? You said you found something that you thought
like for example, now there's a tendency all around for transparent ballot boxes, and we haven't seen any around here, even in Germany and UK. You know, the voters need not identify themselves while coming to a center. Because I think the system is based on trust, and this is democracy in a very advanced stage.
Are there any examples you can find here that you can take back to Mauritius and the African Union as well?
I mean, we are here. In fact, we've learned the process, and we want to go and sensitize people how elections are, especially based on trust here, which I think is the most important factor. And we were surprised to learn, for example, in Germany. We went to one polling station. All the people working down there were volunteers. They were volunteers, and at any point in time, a voter can be asked to come and handle the job. So you see, it's a very much advanced stage of democracy.
Is there anything you can take back from here then to Africa that you think could work there?
Oh, I mean, we are going to work on a complete report which we are going to submit to our Parliament in an plenary session on how the elections, what we observed, the norms, and I mean, everything went so smooth.
Would you like to see a better level of cooperation between the European Parliament and the Pan-African Parliament and perhaps the African Union as well?
I mean, we're basically concerned on moving ahead with the EU strategic plan, where EU-Africa strategic plan after the Lisbon meeting. So we are working on all those 8 themes, and we want to see that we go forward and we reach some very concrete. We can say we reach some very concrete, results around on the country.
You mentioned 8 themes. What are 1 or 2 of the more important ones?
I think conflict resolution. I mean, what is a priority for Europe might not necessarily be a priority for Africa. And what is a priority for Africa might not necessarily be a priority for Europe. So we have to strike the right balance. Maybe for Europe, energy is one of the priority areas, but for Africa, conflict resolution is one. So we have just to strike the right balance.
Well, you have a lot of conflicts in Africa, that's for sure.
Yes, we do have a lot of them, especially in the last few months we've seen a lot of countries, undoing the democratic principles.
Are you concerned that that's a trend that can't be reversed?
I think, we should be hopeful that this trend has to be reversed. We have to reverse it. That's why maybe one of the objectives of the Pan-African Parliament is to sensitize the continent, to sensitize people, to sensitize the leaders on observing democratic principles, because without good political governance we are not going to go far.
Well, do you feel the European Union might patronize Africa in the sense, 2 weeks ago they said the elections in Malawi were free, but they weren't fair?
Yeah, but I can say. But what I mean to say is, we should be knowing on which benchmark are we observing those elections. Are we observing them on benchmarks of European standard? Then they won't be that. That's what I said. I mean, I believe that in the first instance we should establish certain norms observing elections in Africa.
But in any country it should be one man, one vote.
Oh yes, I agree with that, and it should be secret voting also. But what we've seen, for example, in the United Kingdom, it's not a secret ballot.
No secret ballot.
It's not a secret ballot. In
Well,
Germany, it's a secret ballot, but in United Kingdom, it's not a secret
Well,
ballot.
you're in the right place, the European Parliament. There's plenty of secrets here. I'm Andy DeBillis for NETV in Brussels.